What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I am going to break down for you one of the most powerful exercises that I've ever done to change my life, to change my self-image, to become the man that I want to become, and ultimately the man that I know I'm capable of becoming. And, I haven't done a video in a while. I wanted to really just come back to you guys with something that ultimately you can go and apply right now. Like you could literally leave watching this video, put your computer, your phone down, and you could go straight over to a notebook, a journal, and you could do this exercise. And it is the one thing that I believe will unlock everything that you're looking for when it comes to how you feel every day, your health and fitness, even when it comes to the self image that you have, the way you see yourself, the way that you see the world around you, the way you interact with people, how you actually start chasing and building the life that you actually want to have and feeling worthy of doing that and feeling like you deserve it. Because most of us go through life, in a battle with negative emotions and a negative vibration and negative self-talk. Like we literally will wake up in the morning. Most men will wake up in the morning, and this was me for a long time, feeling guilty. Feeling guilty about the things that I did the night before, feeling guilty about the things I did last year or, in my past. And I would think about that. I would ruminate on the past. And I would also feel guilty for the things that I haven't yet done or haven't accomplished. So, for example, if I'm like, sitting here going, I told, myself I was going to be more successful by this time in my life, or I told myself that I was going to achieve X, or maybe I set some goals and shared those goals publicly with friends or family, and maybe I haven't achieved those yet. I would feel guilty about that. And all of this comes back to this emotion of guilt. And what comes with guilt is shame. The problem is if you're in guilt and shame, you start to feel you could feel anxious about the past, you could feel anxious about the future. And I was having a meeting with a client of mine a while back. We were on a call and I was sitting there listening to him, and he said that, what he needed to do was forgive himself for the mistakes, but also for the unrealized expectations. And he was kind of living in this mental prison of perfectionism, trying to have the perfect life, live the perfect way, be the perfect guy, never make mistakes. Every investment's going to work out, every trade is going to work out, every business venture is going to succeed, every relationship is going to succeed, right? This perfection mentality that we can fall into. And a lot of guys, especially high performing guys, like the guys that watch my content, I know a lot of you guys are just like me in that sense, and just like my client that I'm referring to, in the sense that we want to achieve. We're ambitious. We want to perform well. We want to be excellent. And when we don't feel like we are going fast enough, or when we feel like we are behind, what happens is we then go and feel, well, I feel guilty for not being there. I feel stressed about it, maybe a little bit anxious about it. Maybe I'm starting to to beat myself up about it, right? So this is the problem, okay? That's the problem. The solution to this, and the solution that is also an unlock to unlock self-love, which then unlocks the self-image formula. And I did a previous video on this, but I'm going to go over it again with you guys. That unlock and that solution is forgiveness. I got this word forgiven tattooed on my hand because this made such an impact on me, and it really started to become this topic of this deep topic of conversation, but also this new level of awareness and this new level of perception that I started to realize, for myself. I I needed to go back to the times in my life where I had forgiven myself. Because there were moments in my life where I did forgive myself and others. Two instances where I actually had to sit down with a pen and paper and I had to go through on one side of the line, I would draw a line down the middle of the page, and on one side, I would write all the things I need to forgive myself for, and on the other side, it would be all the things I need to forgive other people for. And what happened in that was something really beautiful, and that was that I let go and I forgave myself. I forgave those people. And when I let go, I began to feel free. I began to feel um light. I began to feel peace and calm. And I began to see myself differently. I began to see the world differently. I started to love myself because forgiveness unlocks self love. Self love unlocks self work. Self work unlocks self worth. Self worth unlocks self esteem. And then that unlocks self confidence, true confidence. And then that unlocks a new self image. And your new self image becomes how you see yourself. And the world around us sees us the way we see ourselves. So, for example, if you see yourself as, a fat guy or a guy that's not in the best shape, or you see yourself as someone who's made a lot of mistakes with money, or you see yourself as a person that maybe has never invested well and doesn't have a lot to show for it, or you see yourself as someone who you got divorced, let's say, from a previous marriage, or you went through a bad breakup, and then you're still seeing yourself as that guy. You're divorced, you're not good with money, you're not in shape, all that stuff. If that's the way you see yourself, it's probably because you haven't let go and you haven't forgiven yourself and the people that were involved in those parts of your life, and let all that stuff go. You know, I work with guys who are looking to lose weight. A lot of the guys that I work with are, they're not at the ideal weight that they would like to be. So, what happens is, you know, I have discovered that losing weight is spiritual. And I just did a video on Instagram about this where I was talking about how, losing weight, letting go of excess weight is literally a spiritual discipline. It's a spiritual experience. It's a process that we have to go through spiritually, because if you're just going, hey, I'm just going to count my calories and I'm going to, get on the treadmill and, do all the things to lose weight that you're going to find on YouTube, or you're going to hear from, the fitness and health, videos and information that are out there. There's so much information out there, right? But this is the thing nobody's talking about, is that losing weight is spiritual. And what I mean by that is you have to forgive and let go yourself and other people, forgive and let go of the past before you're going to actually begin to physically, so that's a spiritual thing, before you're going to physically be able to remove that extra weight from your physical body. So this is a really deep topic, and this is something that I wanted to do this video on a while ago, but today we're doing it, and I'm here on the sea pod here in beautiful um, Portobello, which is just up from Cologne here in the Caribbean side of Panama. So I'm surrounded by a beautiful bay here, a lagoon in the Caribbean, and I just sat down today and I thought, you know what, I need to do this because this has been on my heart and on my mind, and I know that this is going to help someone. So I really hope this helps you. I truly wish and hope that and pray that you're watching this video and you're going to be able to go and do this, and this is going to change your life like it changed mine and has changed so many of my clients' lives as well. So back to what I was saying before, if you go online and you go to Google or ChatGPT and you start looking up and researching pain, physical pain in the body, men specifically hold physical pain in their body, in their hips, when they have not let go of the past, when they're holding on to pain, resentment, anger, these negative negative emotions, which turn into negative feelings. And feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. So if you feel bad, you feel pain, you're consciously aware that you're in a bad vibration, or you have something that is going on inside your body. So I tell guys all the time, I'm like, listen, if you have hip problems and hip pain, you need to do this exercise because you will see that pain go away, which is a physical manifestation of what's going on inside your emotions, inside your thoughts, and inside your spirit. And so that's, one example of this. But back to the forgiveness piece, okay? So forgiveness, um, if you look at the Bible, right? You look at what God actually, the story that God inspired men to write through the writings of the Bible, all the books of the Bible. The ongoing theme in the Bible is love, right? And I was just reading Genesis 1. It says that God created man, created us in his image, and he blessed them. God created man and woman and he blessed them. So right away when he created man, he blessed them. You go to the end of the Bible, or the end of the life of Jesus, let's say in the New Testament, right? And for God so loved the world, he gave his one and only son. Well, why did God give his son? Why did he send his son in the Bible to save the world? It was because it was a symbol of forgiveness. He was forgiving us if we accept what Jesus did for us by coming to earth. What that means is we're accepting God's forgiveness of our sin, of all the things we've done, all the bad things, all the wrong things that we've done, all the sin that we've committed, and he will forgive us for that. That is the message of the Bible. It is love and forgiveness. And I mean, there's more themes and there's more messages, but I would say that the story, God is love. If people ever ask me what I believe, I say, I believe in God because God has shown me his love. I've experienced his love. So in that sense, I believe in him. And Jesus, the message of Jesus was forgiveness and redemption. And I see the similarities between these ancient stories, right? And these stories of the Bible, but then I also see the spiritual similarities between, it's like we're here in 2026, right? Living our life. We're waking up every morning. You got social media, you got everything that's crazy going on in the world all around you. And, inside of us, we have our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions and all the things that make up our mental health. This is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Mental health awareness month for men right now. And it's June, which is also my birthday month. So I've been thinking a lot, and I've been having a lot of conversations with guys about their mental health, as I always do. But this week in particular has been even more so, and everybody's going through something. Everybody's going through something. Everybody's got some type of pain or struggle, or I would say men suffer in quiet desperation. And so we as men, if we're suffering in desperation and we're quietly just going through the motions and fighting these battles, right? Why don't we give ourselves the ultimate advantage? Why don't we actually go and say, hey, how can I get ahead of this? How can I have an advantage? How can I get ahead of all of this stuff that's attacking me? I'm constantly under attack, but you're fighting these battles. You're fighting the war ultimately, right? And we're all in this together. We're all the same. Doesn't matter who we are, what country you're from, how old you are. If you're a man, we all go through the same stuff. And guys, this whole conversation about forgiveness and about letting go of the past and about, closing those loops, closing those circles, like, stop talking about the past. Stop talking about the things you went through, the pain, the bad investments, the divorce, the breakup, your health problems, your all those things. Stop talking about that. Write it down on paper. Make a decision to forgive yourself and those people that were involved. And then even if you got to write them a letter. I mean, I wrote letters. I never sent them, but I wrote multiple letters to myself and other people breaking down exactly what I was forgiving them for and why, and speaking, with love, like doing it in love towards myself and them. And guys, what happens when you do this is you unlock self love. And when you unlock self love, everything changes. You start eating differently. You start drinking differently, right? You stop bad habits. You start to be aware of the things that are bad for you. You start to be aware of the things that are dragging you down and robbing you of your energy, robbing you of your peace, robbing you of your health. Like the things that are holding you back in life are generally things that we are doing to ourselves. Self-inflicted pain, self-sabotage, right? We self-sabotage all the time because we're in this repeating pattern, this old cycle that we've been in for so many years. And forgiveness unlocks self-love. Self-love is the foundation that I built my entire program on, the formula program, and everything I do with my inner circle and all the guys that I work with around the world, coaching, and what I teach at my retreats, and with our brotherhood, the conversation that goes on inside of the high performance brotherhood. So much of this conversation is about self-love. But to get to self-love, you need to go through the forgiveness exercise. Once you forgive, you go to self-love, which then breeds self-work. And I'm going to say this because I heard this a long time ago and it's uncomfortable, but maybe you need to hear it, because I know there was a time when I knew I needed to hear it. And that is that you know the work that you need to do. You already know the work that you should be doing and that you need to do to get to where you want to go. So the question is, why aren't you doing it? I talk in um, my video, my story about how I got the health and the body I always wanted. I've shared that video with lots of people, and in that video I talk about the greatest gap in the world. And the greatest gap in the world is the gap between knowing and doing. And when we're in this gap between knowing and doing, how do we close that gap? Well, for me, I found that there's three camps. You have the done for you people, you have the do it yourself people, and then you have the done with you community. And I would say that I'm in the done with you community. I am in the um I have firmly positioned myself and planted my flag in the middle of, I want to do it with you, and I will create a done with you experience for the people that want to come and be a part of our community, because doing this kind of stuff alone is very difficult. Like, men are silently suffering, men are isolated, men are dealing with pain and problems and business problems and pressure and personal problems, breakups, relationship issues, stuff with vices, alcohol, porn, drugs, cigarettes, weed, like cocaine. Like, I mean, I know guys that are spending all their money gambling, guys that are struggling with these addictions and these vices and these things that are just, breaking them and tearing their lives down. And then you sit there by yourself and you go, well, I'm just gonna try harder, or I'm just gonna use my willpower, or I'm just going to, I think I can do this myself. I'm just going to go watch more podcasts, or I'm going to listen to more videos, or Google more stuff, or look more stuff up on ChatGPT. And eventually I'm going to have the right information and I'm going to do it myself. But the problem with that is that we are not meant to do life alone. We are not meant to do life by ourselves. You hear guys say sometimes, I've heard this twice in the last year or so, guys that say, well, bro, I'm good. I'm a lone wolf. And the problem with a lone wolf is you are susceptible to attack. You are susceptible to the attacks that are going to come inevitably, and you don't have that wolf pack around you. You don't have that community, that brotherhood around you. And so that is why I'm so passionate about what I do and about our community and about the strength that comes with numbers, because there is strength in numbers. And so, guys, as I share these breakthroughs and these aha moments that I have and that my clients have had, and that the conversations that we have privately, as I share these things publicly and I give you guys this insight, my hope and my wish and my prayer for you is that this really truly does unlock, self-love, which then will unlock self-work, which is the work that you need to do on yourself. And it might not be the things that you need to do, it might be the things that you need not to do. Right? It's like what are you doing, right, to get these results? Like, how did you get all these amazing results in your life? Well, it's not just the things I do, it's the things I don't do. right? And we all have to come to that awareness and that realization of, we can't do it alone. We need a clear plan. And sometimes it's okay to implement the things that are proven that work for other people, because if it can work for me, it can work for you. And this forgiveness exercise, this forgiveness practice, I've done it 3 times now in my life. And each time it has released and unlocked this new level for me. And this level of self-love, which then becomes self-work, that then becomes self-worth. And self-worth is what so many of us lack. Guys will say, well, I don't feel worthy of it. I want to have this life. I want to live this lifestyle. I want to go and travel and build a business that I love and live somewhere that I love and have amazing friendships and amazing relationships and amazing people in my life. And I want to be able to have fulfillment and happiness and peace of mind and, freedom and all these things that we desire, success, money, financial abundance, like, all the things that we all desire as men. Guys, if you don't feel worthy of it, you're never going to have it. And to unlock self-worth, to feel worthy of those things, you have to first do the self-work. So self-work unlocks self-worth. Self-worth then becomes self-esteem. Self-esteem is this magical, it's like a glue. It's like glue. It's like when you have a high level of self-esteem, when you meet somebody, when you walk up to someone and you shake their hand or you see them in public and right away, you feel their energy, you feel their self-esteem, like they hold themselves to a high standard. They hold themselves in high regard because they have high self-worth. They feel worthy and they feel deserving of the things that they say they want, right? That they desire. They feel worthy of it because they've done the work. And you guys can play this backwards and you can see this pattern. They feel worthy because they've done the work, and they've done the work because they love themselves. And they love themselves because they've let go and they've done the forgiveness, right? Whether they've done it consciously or subconsciously, letting go is everything. And then on the other end of self-esteem, right? Once you build up this new standard, I call it a standard. It's like, this is my standard now. Like, I'm not going to allow people to treat me anything less than this standard. I'm not willing to accept quality below this standard. I'm not willing to accept a lifestyle and peace of mind below this standard. I'm not willing to accept relationships below this standard. Like, your self-esteem sets a standard for yourself, right? We get what we tolerate in life, And self-esteem then breeds self-confidence. And I've talked to hundreds of men, around the world over the last few years. And I would say that the majority of guys that I speak to, what they're truly after is that confidence. It's being willing and excited to take your shirt off in public, right? I used to be terrified to take my shirt off in public. It's just crazy to me that I went so many years living like I would have anxiety. We'd go out on the boat with a bunch of people and I would literally have anxiety about taking my shirt off. And all these people were friends or people I knew or family, and I still had anxiety because I felt so bad about my physique. I felt so bad because I'd be like, man, people are going to see that I drink too much. People are going to see that I eat too much. People are going to see that I smoke too much. People are going to see that I don't work out enough, right? That I don't take care of myself. I don't invest in myself. They're going to see that because your body is a physical manifestation of your habits and your beliefs and your self-love. And you could see where I'm going with this, right? So guys, self-confidence is what comes from self-esteem. And self-confidence, I heard Ed Milet say one time, one of the GOATs, one of the greatest of all time when it comes to personal development and coaching and teaching and, you know, performance and success. He said one time, he said, confidence comes from our intentions. True confidence comes from our intentions. And when you set your intentions, when your intentions are pure, when your intentions are good towards yourself, you will have self-confidence. And the self-confidence, I mean, there's a formula for it as well. You can find it was written, decades ago. The self-confidence formula. Beautiful, beautiful piece of literature that you can read and study. And self-confidence, though, comes from your intentions, which means that when you have confidence, your intentions toward yourself and other people are good. They're pure. They're for them. You're for yourself. You know, I heard someone say yesterday that what we are doing inside of the High Performance Brotherhood is we are building a community of men that are for men, because so much of the world right now is against men. Social media is against men. There's a women's movement around the world that is against men. Hollywood is against men. You know, you see what's going on, and it's this narrative, and it's complete BS. It's complete BS. Okay. But what we are doing is we're building a community of men that is for men. And so when you think about confidence, when you think about self-confidence, when you think about your intentions toward yourself and other people, what happens then is this magical, this beautiful thing happens. This incredible new level of awareness, this paradigm shift. I could do a whole nother video on paradigms, but this is the thing. When you shift your paradigm, when your paradigm changes, right? That paradigm shift. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday about how he went to a Bob Proctor event back in the 90s in Canada that was about the paradigm shift. Guys, when your paradigm changes around who you are and your self-image, this is the result. The end result is that self-confidence becomes a new self-image. And guys, you can go back from forgiveness, self-love, self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, self-image. You get to this place where you see yourself differently. You see yourself as, like, I took a pen, a Sharpie, an erasable marker. I wrote on the mirror, I'm in the best shape of my life. Because that's how I see myself. I see myself now as every time I look in the mirror, I'm in the best shape of my life. Because I have the confidence, I have the self-worth, the self-esteem, because I did this one thing that unlocked this waterfall of self-image, this formula. I heard guys talk about self-image for years, about you got to change your self-image. Until you change your self-image, you're not going to change your life, all this stuff. And I was like, well, how do I do that? How do I change my self-image? Guys, it's simple. Okay? It's simple. And it works. And your new self-image and the way you see yourself is the way the world is going to see you. The world sees us the way we see ourselves. People will start to treat you differently. People will start to send you different messages, different DMs. They're going to speak to you differently on calls. They're going to ask for your help because they're going to see there's something different about you that they want. People are going to reach out to you for advice. People are going to reach out to you when they have problems because they know that you're a guy that can solve problems. You can create solutions, right? Your whole world of opportunities, the opportunities that are going to be offered to you, the things that people are going to bring to you and say, hey, I wanted to bring this to you. I wanted to offer this to you as an opportunity. It's That's all going to start to shift in a positive way. You're going to have better health. You're going to have a better physique. Your body's going to change. You're going to look different. You're going to feel different. Your skin is going to look different. You're going to have this completely different look and feel about you. People are going to walk up to you and go, dude, like, you don't look the same. You don't look anything like you did 5 years ago. And guys, it's really, I hope you guys hear my heart on this, because this is all just from my heart to you. And I wanted to share this with you because I can't keep this to myself. I don't want to keep this information private. I just want to give it all away, and I want to let you guys have it. And I just ask a couple things. If you got value from this, please share this video. Please send this to somebody that you know needs this. And please like and subscribe to my channel so that when I post more of these videos, that you're going to actually be able to see them right away, and you're going to get them. And this message will get to who it needs to go to. So I'm just out here, guys, looking for the people that are looking for me, and this message that I have, and this passion that I have to help other men. It's not going away. It's getting stronger. It's getting bigger. It's getting more powerful. It's like fuel to my fire. Everything that's going on right now in the world is just fueling this fire. And if you would like to apply for our Inner Circle program, there will be a link below. If you want to apply for one-on-one coaching, if you want to look at coming to one of our live events, one of our retreats here in Panama, there will be links for that as well. Follow me on Instagram at Richard Ustra. You're going to find me on LinkedIn. There's a lot more coming. There's a lot more that I can say, and there's a lot more that I will be speaking about on this topic. But guys, I hope this video blesses you, and we'll see you guys on the next one. All right. God bless and take care.